Hi everyone, I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about, we know that there's a lot of stuff that's going on in our nation right now. Around the world we've got the illnesses and the vaccinations and things that they're coming up with. But within America there is a lot of chaos and turmoil going on. And so just wanted to take a minute again to say, are you prepared for whatever may come up? The other day, in my previous video, I was talking about how it's really, really important to be prepared, even if you just go one step at a time. Nobody's saying go empty all your money out, buying up everything in the stores all at once so no one else can get toilet paper or food or whatever. But what I'm saying is, are you prepared with some basic things? A sack of dried beans. A basic thing that you can get for $1 or $2. And no, not everybody's a fan of dried beans. People seem to like chili and things like that. And if you have the dried beans, you can soak them and cook them so that you can have that chili or whatever delicious meal that you want. And if you don't know about beans, and even if you do, I'll be willing to show you how to do different things with the dried beans or a sack of rice to stretch out so that you have food to last for your family. Something that's easy to prepare, delicious to eat, and it could either be done in a slow cooker, a regular pot on the stove, Instapot or multi-pot. There's a variety of options for what you can do with that. But I just wanted to take a minute and show you some more of the things that I've kind of like stored up for myself over a period of time. It didn't all happen at once. And I know I'm reaching up high because the things that I'm not using every day, I keep up in a higher space. Okay. And I reach it. This is Emergency Essentials product, sweet potato. It's diced, it's dried. An unopened container of this will last 20 years for a shelf life, which is awesome. Once it's open, you got like a year or so that you might want to get this used up if you want to keep that really good flavor. And with the sweet potato brand, you really need to cook it and boil it until it's nice and soft, and add in your butter or whatever seasoning that you would like with it. But that's one of the things that I have. And I've got like containers like that of dehydrated eggs, oats. Yep, I'll grab the oats so you can at least see how that is. 20-year shelf life. Well, not really dehydrated, but properly stored and prepared rolled oats, where if it's not, the container is not open, that's a 20-year shelf life, which is pretty awesome. You can also get other things, like maybe you have family members that enjoy having cereal or products that are breads or cakes or whatever that need dairy products with it. You can always buy a whole powdered milk, and used properly, it tastes like regular milk. Different products of the powdered milk work different ways. Some packages from different companies, you may have to have the water extremely cold or extremely hot for it to have the proper taste and quality. This one, it works fine as it is. And this from the Wise Company came in a large storage package that container that I have of some prep stuff that I've saved for emergencies. And it's whey milk alternative. And this, you can prepare it with, 2 tablespoons, with room temperature water. It doesn't have to be super hot. It doesn't have to be super cold. And it will turn out just right and be delicious to drink. So, another thing that you could do, like if you're a coffee drinker or you know someone that's a coffee drinker, after they're done using those coffee cans, ask them if you can have them. Wash it out good, let it dry up really good, and then when it is dry, you can use the coffee cans to just store some of your packages of various dried beans. That's a good way to be able to put like all of the chickpeas in one place, all of the lentils in another container. You can label it on the top of the container if you need be. And if you live in an area where there may be some vermin that might try to get in your home, especially in the winter time, field mice or squirrels try to burrow and find their way into some homes. They can't eat through this. So it's another layer of protection, and these can be stacked one on top of another. Like, it takes up less space, but fits really well up in the cupboards, which is nice. Those are some things that you can do little by little, just building things up for yourself so that you can have some things stored. And if you're not able to get containers like this, the old coffee cans, some places still sell the metal ones, some places they're all plastic. If you're not able to get this, maybe you can get those plastic shoebox containers, and you can put spaghetti in those. Let me see if I have one of those that I can show you. Yep, I have one. Shoebox container. Spaghetti noodles fit in there very nicely. And that way you can stack them, store them, and you can put them away. I keep mine in the bread box because my bread box is big enough for 2 of these containers. So that's just a little quick video. Now hopefully people are really seriously thinking about prepping for some stuff because things are getting kind of dicey. The National Guard is supposed to be in all 50 states right now, watching for if there's any trouble that's coming up here in the next week because of the inauguration and people disgruntled about the election and a variety of other things that are going on. And I know there were 2 planes that flew overhead earlier today while I was at work, so they're around for sure. And we have to be mindful of where we go. Look around you. Let somebody know where you're at or where you're going. And if at all possible, try not to go places by yourself. Have a second person with you, or make sure that somebody knows where you are. So, it's just for your own safety and protection. It's good for somebody else to know where you are. But that's just a few things I wanted to share today. Don't want to take up a lot of your time, but I hope that you are making some kind of plans. I hope that you're taking a survey of the things that you have in your kitchen or in your home and saying, okay, I have this, this, and this. How long is this food going to last me? As I said before, the FEMA website previously said that people needed to keep 3 days worth of food and water. And then when the coronavirus came, then it was 2 weeks worth that they were saying people needed, because a lot of people were quarantined for 2 weeks. And when I got COVID, I was quarantined for 15 days. But if you could get 6 months worth of food stored, and if you're doing, lots of instant cooking meals, lots of microwavable stuff, you may not always be able to get 6 months worth of stuff stored. But if you're able to get an extra bag of the beans, or an extra bag of rice, or a package of noodles. Take that and put it up for when you'll need it. You know, storms do come sometimes. As I mentioned before about moving to Minneapolis many years ago, and 3 days after, like 2 or 3 days after I moved into my place, a storm came. Lightning struck a tree. The tree started to fall, hit the power line, fell backwards, put a hole in my neighbor's roof. All the power was out for many blocks for 2 weeks. I had been in that neighborhood for less than a week. The food that I had in the refrigerator eventually went bad because with no power, it's not going to stay cold forever. Couldn't get ice at the gas station or at the grocery store because they had no power. Couldn't even get food. Everything they had there went bad just as it did where I was. So all I had to work with was the dried products that I had in my cupboard. And I had to become kind of ingenious in how I was going to be able to cook and prepare things with what I had. And those are some of the things that I'd like to show you in some upcoming videos. What you can do in the event of a power outage, and especially if it's for an extended amount of time. You know, think about what happened with Pakistan over the weekend. It could happen here, and if it happened here, would people be prepared and ready to handle the situation, whatever may come up, or will they just kind of be stuck in the dark? Something to think about. But I already said I wasn't going to take long, and I'm talking more than I wanted to. But thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon so that we can do some cooking and talk more about your food storage and food preps for a time such as this. Now, I hope you have a great day.